Hello, in this video, I'm going to share with you 3 things I learned from growing my copywriting business without any paid advertising. At the time of this video, I have not even attempted to use paid advertising to get copywriting clients because I haven't needed to. And I'm going to share with you 3 things I learned from that maybe will help you do the same. If this is your first video with me, hello. My name is Andrea Dell. I'm the secret weapon of high-octane, mission-driven women entrepreneurs who need relationship-building, income-producing written content but don't have the time to do it themselves. I'm also a content coach who helps up-and-coming entrepreneurs with their content. And I am, as well, the head content conspirator for the Content Conspiracy, where we have a little fun boosting your impact and income. So, 3 things I learned from growing my copywriting business without using paid advertising. The first thing I learned is that depending on how you approach your copywriting business, or really any service-based business, it depends on what you do. It really does. But depending on how you go about it, you may not even need paid advertising to grow it and get where you want to be. And I say that from over 5 years of personal experience. I have not needed, like I said, to resort to paid advertising to get copywriting clients. They are coming to me. And that's not because I'm the most well-known copywriter on the planet. It's because when you show up properly, which I'll talk about more in a minute, then and find the right people, then paid advertising just becomes unnecessary, which is great. That means more profit for you, since paid advertising costs money. It can lead to, it can work, but there's a lot of drama and stress and experimenting that's involved with even successful paid advertising. So that's the first thing I learned, is that you may not even need paid advertising, even if you're thinking, because you saw a Facebook ad, oh, I should be doing paid advertising to get copywriting clients. Maybe, maybe not. You can even end up with a wait list of people who want to work with you. So if something happens with your regular clients where you don't want to work together anymore, you still have other options you can go to, then you still may not need the paid advertising. So that's the first thing I learned. I haven't needed the paid advertising. Second thing I learned, I'm consulting my notes here, is that the right people can help you grow your business in all forms. I mean, even paid advertising, you need the right people to click and buy. So it's very universal, but for a service-based business like copywriting, the right people can help you grow your business faster than just about anything else. There are nuances and there's a spectrum, but for myself, it was the right people who are the reason I was able to get clients so quickly and grow my income faster than a lot of brand new, inexperienced copywriters. I had writing experience. I'd studied copywriting for a couple years, but in terms of real world, practical copywriting experience, didn't really have any to speak of. So, and yet I was able to get my copywriting business off the ground very quickly, starting in January of 2018, and it's just kept growing. So there you go. And that was due to the right people that I started working with from the get-go, who wanted to work with me because I was me, not because I was the most experienced, and because of how I showed up, which I'm going to talk about in a second. And then them sharing me with other people, and then other people saying, oh, you write copy for so-and-so. I would love to talk to you about working together. And then I don't work with everybody that I talk to. That's pretty standard. But there's enough that, hey, got steady stream of clients, and not even that many, just because I'm definitely a quality over quantity person. I would rather work with 4 or 5 clients on retainer than have 25 one-off projects to juggle. It's just a lot more bandwidth for that versus having clients on retainer that you just work with over and over. That I love, and that's what I do for the most part. So there we go. Second thing I learned is that the right people can grow your business a lot faster than pretty much anything else. And not only that, but when it is the right situation, it is with so much less drama. Interacting with other people can include drama and headbutting and some concerns regardless. But when it's a handful of people versus hordes of them from paid advertising, the more people there are, the more drama there is. It's just the proportion goes up with the more people. So when you have a smaller number of people, typically there's less drama, unless you happen to get someone who's just a super pot stirrer or something like that. But generally speaking. Third thing I learned from growing my copywriting business without paid advertising is that how you show up matters. So the bar, I'm sorry to say, is very low in this regard these days for how you show up. Meaning, do you get back to people? Do you keep your word? Are you honest with them if you don't think you can help them? Or are you trying to get every client you can out of desperation or neediness, which really doesn't serve you or them? And that's a topic for another video. But when you choose the clients that you're a good fit for, they're a good fit for you, and that you're pretty confident you can do your part to help them get results. You can't control the quality of their audience, whether or not their offer is good or total crap. And there are other marketing efforts. So there's things outside your control, which can be really hard to wrap your head around and accept when you want to do a good job and have it be a success story that gives you status. So there's a lot that can mess with you in that kind of thing. But all that to say, if you pick people that you're a good fit for, they're a good fit for you, and that they have the things in place where you have a good shot at getting them some results, then that is really powerful. And finding that it can be a bit of a balancing act, but it ties into as well how you show up. That is one way you can show up, is being clear on, okay, who do I think I can help here? Who am I not the right fit for, or not the right fit for me? It is important to have those standards because it does impact your reputation and how people perceive that you show up. So how you show up. Are you professional? Again, do you follow up? Do you follow through? Do you stay in touch? If you are you able to hit deadlines pretty consistently, or are you underestimating how long it will take you to get a project done? That one can be really tricky and still is for me sometimes. I typically think I'm gonna get it done in, say, a week, whatever it is, and turns out it would have been better if I'd said 2 weeks. And part of that is because you want to be fast. You want to get the client a quick turnaround and that kind of thing, but it can come back and bite you. So you got to be careful with that. But again, how you show up can make paid advertising unnecessary, because if you're showing up in a way that people want to work with you, even if you may not be the most experienced or most A-list or have the most status or whatever, if your skills are good enough for people to get the result they want from working with you, and you'll actually work with them versus someone with, say, more status who doesn't want to work with clients or charges more than this person's willing to pay, whatever it is. There's a whole spectrum of copywriters and things, and there are people that you can probably serve at your level, provided you have the basics in place, like being a good command of English and knowing how to do decent copywriting, at least. There's lots of opportunity. And how you show up is a big factor in that. It can, in my personal experience over years, compensate for not being the most experienced, not having the most status, not having a proven record of success yet. All this stuff can all be offset by how you show up. So keep that in mind. How you show up is really powerful. I've learned that over and over and over and over since I started my copywriting business in, I guess technically it was late 2017, but I got my first major client on January 5th of 2018. I signed the contract, I remember. And at the time of this video, I'm still working with that client. So my favorite, long-term, mutually profitable, beneficial relationships. I really like that kind of thing. So to recap, 3 things I learned from growing my copywriting business without paid advertising. First thing is that depending on how you go about it, you may not even need paid advertising to get more copywriting clients. You get hooked up with the right people, they share you. Client prospecting may not be something you have to work very hard at, which ties nicely into the second thing I learned from this, which is that the right people can grow your business faster than just about anything else, including paid advertising, if you're a service provider. If you're a one-to-many provider, where you have a course and you want to sell it to as many as people as possible, you can certainly use other people with joint ventures and people sharing you with their communities to facilitate that for sure. I think paid advertising, when it's done properly, you get the system right and you have a good back end, is probably the fastest way for that. Don't have a lot of experience in that yet, so someone that does can comment on that. But I know that as a service provider, I can tell you unequivocally that the right people can get you started and even propel your profits, your status, everything faster than anything else I personally have tried. And the third thing I learned from growing my copywriting business without paid advertising is that how you show up, get the hair out of my face here, how you show up makes a huge difference, especially in today's world where the mindset of service seems to be more and more fleeting. It's 2023 and there are still people and companies using the pandemic as an excuse for crappy customer service, which is absolutely ridiculous in my opinion. So the bar, unfortunately, is really low right now, and if you just put in a little effort, it won't take much to, please don't do the bare minimum. That's not what I'm saying. I'm saying is that when you show up in a way that makes you appealing and attractive to your potential clients, it'll shine so much brighter in today's world because of the lowered bar for this kind of thing. So there we go. Hope you found this useful. And I want to say too that if you would like some content help to maybe get more clients, maybe you're not in a position yet to meet the right people, but you want to start drawing them in, then what I'm going to do here is invite you to join my email list, and for doing that, I'll give you my training on 7 ways to stop the scroll. It's just, right now, it's 1 email. There's a way to stop the scroll. There's a real life example I've used and an explanation of what it is. So it's bing, bada, boom. Bada bing, bada, boom. You'll be able to consume it in 10 minutes, 5 minutes, depending on how fast you read. 10 minutes is a lot. It's probably going to be less than 5. And then see how you can apply it to getting clients for yourself and go and do that. And I've also got my book, and this might be a better fit for you if you're new, Dream Client Goldmine. And by the way, I will put the links for these in the description of this video, so just check that out. My book, Dream Client Goldmine, which you can get on Amazon, it details how I got my first copywriting clients, my first 2. And then I used that same strategy consciously later to get another one. And I say consciously because with the first 2, it was actually an accident. And it has to do with what I've been talking about here with how you show up, how that can be very powerful. And when you read this book, you'll see exactly what I mean. So it's called Dream Client Goldmine. I will put the link for you in the video description here, so be sure and check that out. And if you're new to copywriting, but even if you're not, if you're newer but you've got some experience under your belt, might still be valuable. Since I published the book, I got another copywriting client from that same methodology, and again, it was more accidental this time. It it wasn't a surprise because I had the knowing what worked the other 3 times, but I wasn't seeking this person as a client, and yet they brought it up. I didn't say a word. So that's the power of dream client gold mining. Check that out. And thank you all for watching. I appreciate it, and I'll talk to you next time.